everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's been a minute since I last filmed, but I appreciate your patience. And here we are. So today we are going to do a Thanksgiving Day inspired makeup. So I hope this at least gives you some inspiration for what you might want to wear on Thanksgiving Day to help celebrate. Okay, so I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. We're going to prime my eyes with the Profusion Pigment Base Eyeshadow Primer in the shade White. And so, just in case your day's not going how you want to either, I just want to let you know that you are not alone, because this is the second time I'm sitting down to film this video. The first time we've had some technical difficulties and some interruptions, so hopefully we can get through it this time without too much interruption. So we're just going to apply that pigment base. Look at that. Look at how that blanks out all the pigment in my eyelids. So we're just going to put that on with our finger and blend it out. And we're going to take what's left on our hand and we're going to put it in the inner corner of our eye, because that's going to help brighten once we put our foundation and concealer on top. I know that that's a little weird, but trust me, it makes it look so good. And you can actually put this white pigment base wherever you want it to kind of like highlight and brighten. I just like doing it in my inner corners because that's where I tend to get the darkest. Also, I have some tea here. This is an infusion, and see, this is what I'm saying. If you go to do something and you can't get it perfect, that's okay. That is normal. That is human. This is a tea infuser mug. The infuser is over here because I've already made some tea in it. I just took the infuser out, and this was a birthday gift from my boyfriend. 10 out of 10 recommend. And then he also got me some hazelnut cookie black tea from the Spice and Tea Exchange here in Spartanburg. So, love that. So now that we've got that base product laid out, we are going to take a soft fluffy brush. This wasn't the one I used originally, but this is the one we're going to use right now. And we're going to just take my Heat Seeker palette from Morphe. We're going to take this. Oh! See, it's just one of those days, and that's all right. We're going to take this lightest shade, the lightest matte shade right here. Dust off the excess. Put it right here under the brow bone. Again, lightest shade, tap off the excess. Right under the brow bone, just like that. And now I went a little backwards with the order of operations, so we're gonna do it right this time. So next I'm going to take this bright yellow shade on another slightly fluffier brush. We're gonna use this end of my Urban Decay Naked brush, and we're just gonna tap off, blow off the excess. If it's your own personal brushes, blow it off. I know that's not the most sanitary, but you know, tap off the excess and then just go right kind of underneath that brow bone and put the yellow there. Blend it out in both directions. The only thing is, don't connect it to the outer corner. And I'll tell you why later, or I'll explain why later. And if you want to go in with a little bit more and just make it a little bit brighter, do that. That's what I want to do. I want this look to be bold and beautiful and just gorgeous. Because this is going to look like a golden fall day. Like when you look outside at the trees with all the leaves changing color and falling down, that's what this makeup is going to kind of look like. With the golden hour sun blowing through the trees. So we're getting the sun in first. Alright, and that should do it. And then take your previous brush with barely anything on it, and just take that over the edge to blend it into pretty much nothing. Look at that. Look at how pretty just that looks. You could do a garage, what we call a garage door, where it's one shade from brow bone to eyelid and to mobile lid or whatever. That would be beautiful. We're not going to do that today though. We're going to spice it up. So next up, we're going to take this Hot Cheeto shade right here. I've already got some on a flat shader brush. And we're just going to kind of relax our eyelids just like this. And we're going to pop that on right above our crease. And because we have that bright yellow right there, it's going to not only help this blend, as well as just add the brightness to it that we're looking for. And just add until you add a little, check it out, blend it out, and then check and see if you need more. I'm just taking a fluffy brush that has some of that yellow shade on it as well as this orange, and just blend. Look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? So just blend, blend, and blend. So that's what it's supposed to look like, okay? Gorgeous. Take a little bit of a tea break or coffee break or whatever your adult beverage of choice, whatever tickles your fancy. I'm just drinking tea tonight because I have to work tomorrow. All right. So next up, we're going to take a smaller, denser kind of fluffy brush like that. And we are going to take this darker brown orange shade like that. And we're just going to apply a little bit of this. And we're just going to go kind of in the outer half of the lid, the outer lid, just like that. From about the middle of your pupil out. And again, I'm not bringing that down at all. We're just leaving that disconnected. Do you see? And then I am still flicking it out a little, but we're not bringing it down at all. Because this is going to help keep our eyelid lifted and make us look way more awake than we would otherwise. And we're going to take that same small blending brush and just kind of go in circular motions and bring it in. And what I'm also going to do to help kind of blend it, I'm going to add a little bit of that Hot Cheeto color to one side of that blending brush. And we're going to go in from the other side to kind of help, because I kind of want to keep it light and bright, especially on the inner part here. Because I don't want to lose that brightness of that Hot Cheeto kind of color. And look at that, that looks so pretty. And now what you can also do is take a little bit more of that yellow shade that we had, and we can go right up above that Hot Cheeto color even, and help blend even more. You see? Gorgeous. Just like that. Beautiful. Now, for our lid color, we're going to take this bright dandelion yellow shade because I think that is a beautiful color. And we are going to put that right on our eyelid. And I'm just going to take a bit on my brush, and then I'm going to take this Hard Candy Hydrating Primer Mist. Oops. Make sure you're spraying it the right direction, and spray that to help foil the shadow. And you just go all over the lid. You can even pick up a bit more shadow if you need to. Because look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, right? It's a beautiful color. And do the same thing on the other eye. And then pick up a little bit more if you need to. And really just pack it on. Because I love that shade. I love that. Now, we are done with the eyes for the moment because we're going to go in with foundation and concealer. And we're going to actually do some bottom shadow and all after we get the foundation and concealer on, because you don't want to do it and then mess it up with the foundation and concealer. That's not a good look. So take another little tea break. And then we're going to continue on. So I'm going to use the Revolution IRL filter in the shade F1. And I do about 2 full pumps of this. And we're just going to dot it around my face. We're actually going to kind of semi-blend it with our finger. And why I'm doing it that way is so that it doesn't dry down and just spots, because it is a full coverage matte foundation, so it does dry down, at least to some extent. And if you need more, add more, because it is kind of buildable. I noticed that I know for my skin I can add a little bit more if I need to, and it doesn't alter the wear or anything of it for me. Now, I'm not saying for you it might be a little bit different. Now I'm going to add a pump and do my neck and my ears. You know, lift up your baby hairs and do your ears, because your ears will actually get red if you start to laugh or anything. And so, especially if you're going somewhere and you don't want to look crazy in photos from laughing and stuff, definitely do that. And also all the way down your neck, and if you're wearing your hair up, do the back of your neck if you can reach it. I can't reach mine, so I get as far back as I can, and then, you know, just kind of dab. Unless you're wearing a turtleneck. If you're wearing a turtleneck, it really doesn't matter. But I'm not, especially not right now, so. And I know it looks really, really crazy in this lighting. It looks really, really light. But look, I'm going to turn off the light for you for a second and you can see. Look at how much more natural that looks without the super bright light. With the super bright light, I look like a ghost. But I promise it's actually closer to my shade. Next up, we're going to do, I got a little lip skin that's driving me nuts. I'm going to do the CoverGirl Outlast Concealer in the shade 810 Fair. And I'm just going to pop that on right here in the innermost corner. And then I'm going to blend that out. Well, I'm going to take the sponge and blend it out a little. But then we're going to take I had a small little beauty blender. Oh, poop. Oh, there it is. Haha. See? And sometimes you lose your tools. But I'm just going to blend that in to help cancel out some of the dark purpley bits under my eyes. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and we're going to put that all, and this is the shade Fair Beige. I can either be Fair Rose or Fair Beige. It just depends. And yes, I know that that is a lot of concealer. A lot of people will say you don't need that much concealer. And they're probably right. But this is just how I do it. If you don't need this much concealer, don't use this much. But I like using this much concealer, so I do. But I blend it out all underneath my eyes, on top of my cheeks, and all down the sides of my nose, because I notice that I tend to get red or dark right in here, and I want to make sure everything looks as seamless and as smooth as possible. And this is the way that I think it looks best on my skin. Like I said, you don't have to do it this way if that's not, how you think your skin looks best. If you think your skin looks best with a little less concealer than what I'm using, do that. If you don't have as much redness and zits and all to cover, then don't do it, because a lot of people don't need this much. This is just what I think looks best on my skin, because it tends to help hide the texture of my skin, because I notice that I have a lot of larger pores, especially around my nose area, and my nose does not like to hold on to foundation for a very long time. If I break down, it's right here on my nose, which is the weirdest spot ever for foundation to break down. But it does. It breaks down really badly on my nose. So I like doing this. And so this is where we are so far. So we have really, really bright eyes, really, really fair skin. It looks, but I promise, in natural lighting and in real lighting, it does not look this pale. But, so to make it look even crazier, before we do our, what we're going to do next, I should say, like our under eye makeup and everything, I am actually going to set my under eyes with a legitimate white powder. And I'm going to press this in with a foundation brush. And I'm just going to pick up as much powder as I can. And I am just going to apply that under my eyes, like so, on both sides, in the inner corner, and all the way out my under eye. And what I'm going to do is kind of do like a triangle shape with the white powder, sort of, because we're just gonna, and we're kind of bake with the white powder too, but I'm gonna put it kind of on top of my cheekbones, on the center of my nose, center of my forehead, and my chin, because this, for some reason, looks fantastic on me. Now, if you are a darker skin tone, I would not recommend using a white powder. I would recommend using a powder that's maybe a couple of shades lighter than your natural skin tone. But I would not recommend using white if you were darker than me, by very much at all. Next up, we are going to take this fluffy brush and this CoverGirl foundation powder in the shade Classic Ivory, which is CoverGirl's hit or miss with foundation shades for me. The Classic Ivory actually helps warm me up a little and darken me up just a smidge. And that's why I'm using it here, is because if you apply this over the white, you get a really, really nice base that looks just like you're glowing from within. All right, see? And then to add some more dimension to the face, because we're going to do all of our face steps before we go in with the eyes, I'm going to take this Tarte Park Avenue Princess Amazon Clay Waterproof Bronzer. And we are just going to apply this kind of right here, right underneath where I put that white powder, because this is a bronzer. This is not a contour shade. Contour and bronzer are actually two very different things. Contour is a technique that uses gray-based shades to sculpt the face. And a bronzer is something that adds some color and gives you some warmth to the face. Now, I am using this bronzer as a bit of a contour because it's almost the perfect shade for me for contour. Because it's not quite warm, but it's not too cool either. So, and I just put it there, and then I take a fluffy brush and I blend it. Because it just helps to add some warmth back to my face. Now, I'm going to take this Lancome Subtle Blush, and the shade is Blushing. Beautiful shade name, right? It's kind of like a NARS Orgasm blush, which I know. I actually really love the shade of NARS Orgasm. And I actually really do enjoy the shade of this. I think this is overpriced. I don't think you need this exact blush because it can be a little patchy. But I got it as a sample for free. So, you know, I'm going to use it because I do enjoy the color of it, but it's not exactly my favorite. Okay. So I do think that that is a beautiful blush shade. And now we're going to go back to the eyes. So I'm going to take one of my really small brushes. I'm actually going to take this small blending brush that we used for the orange color. And we're going to actually go into this neutral brown. And the reason we're going to do the neutral brown underneath first is because I think that that's going to give us the best result under our eyes. Because for me, for under eyes, I don't like to go overboard with shadow under my eyes. I think I look weird with it. But I'm trying to expand and not think that I look as weird. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, and then I'm going to do a little bit, I think, of the hot Cheeto kind of color just on top of it to help bring that heat to the under eye, that warmth, that brightness. Just like that. Oh wow, that actually is super pretty. Look at that. That is actually really, really pretty. And now, because I'm feeling fun and festive, we're actually going to use this ColourPop cream liner from the Hocus Pocus line, and the shade is called Sistas. And we're going to apply that along the waterline. And I know you're not supposed to pull on your under eye like this, but oh well. Too late now. Alright, so here's where we are so far with the look. I really enjoy the way the eyes look. I really enjoy the base, T-break. Next up, we're going to do lashes, brows, and lips. Now, we're going to do the brows first, and I've got to find my little brow pencil. I have it all standing right here, ready to be used. And so I know, like, brows are a very personal thing. I personally like a darker brow usually, but I think we're going to keep it kind of lighter, almost like a barely there brow. Well, this isn't really a lighter brow. This would be a barely there brow. I have to have something more than that. But I think we're just going to keep it a light brow, a light kind of fill in that's kind of close to my natural hair color as possible. I don't think we're going to go as dark as I normally go, which is doing this and then going in with the NYX, or no, not the NYX, the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. Because I have the shade Taupe of that, and it's really super dark. So instead of going that route, I think we're just going to stick with that. Just the e.l.f. brow pencil in the shade Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Blonde. I think that's the shade, yeah. Also, and actually I forgot to do something. I am going to take another little flat shader brush, and I'm going to take this champagne color right here, right underneath that neutral matte that we used. And I'm going to take this color and I'm going to apply it right here in the inner corner, all the way up onto my eyelid, and all the way, like, we're going to put it right here in the innermost corner, top and bottom, just like that, because look at that. That just adds some sparkle. I love that. All right. And so brows are done. Now we're going to go with the lashes. Oh, excuse me. And we're just going to use our eyelash torture device and curl our lashes. Just like that. Then we're going to use the number 7 Lash Impact Lash Primer. And apply just a tiny bit of that. And then let that dry for a second. And then we're going to go in with the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. And I actually have used this once before, or a few times before. I got this for my birthday gift at Sephora. And I actually really enjoy this. I usually don't like mascaras that aren't waterproof, but this one is a pretty decent one. I don't know how much the full size of it is, and I don't know that it would be worth it, but I do enjoy the free sample I got. So, and then we're just gonna apply a good amount of mascara, because we're not gonna use eyeliner, because you don't want to cover up all the hard work you've done, especially with someone who has hooded eyes. Mascara can be really helpful, or it can be really bad. Also, because of the way the foundation came in, I'm going to take a slightly fluffy brush and a little bit more of the Hot Cheeto color and a little bit of that yellow color, and kind of mix them on the brush, and then just come in right there with those two shades. And just bring them farther in and blend them out a little. And see, that gets rid of that harsh line that was right there. Beautiful. Now, the eyes look fantastic. Next up, we're going to go with lips. And I'm actually going to put on a lip balm before we get started, because I can tell my lips are a little dry. So this is just a Glow Bloom Peachy Citrus Lip Butter. A friend of mine got that for me for my birthday, because she knows how much I love makeup. So, we have some options here. We have the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and that's in the shade Happy. We have a Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Petal. And then we have the Maybelline Matte Ink Crayon in the shade... This doesn't have a shade name on it. Not that I can read anyway. But this is the shade. So they're all kind of neutral shades. Some are a little cooler than others. Like this is a cool tone nude for me. This is a little bit of a warmer nude. This is a cooler nude. I think what we're going to do is and then I have two glosses. I have the e.l.f. Plumping Gloss in the shade Pink Sugar, which I love that shade. And then I have the Milani Keep It Full in the shade Champagne, which is kind of like a nude orange color. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the lip crayon on and see it. Mine is kind of older, and so it doesn't stay seated like it should. And then I'm just going to kind of warm it up and draw it on. Now, if you wanted to go with a full-on orangey red color or a full-on orange color, you do. I don't think those colors look good on my lips, but if you do, go for it. And I think I want to use, actually I think I'm going to put a little bit of this e.l.f. on top to help warm it up a little. Can you see the difference? And just put on a little bit of that. And then I think I'm going to put on some of this e.l.f. lip gloss in the Pink Sugar shade.
In the chair, or on the right table, or on the table by table with the right chair.
There we go. And then this is the makeup look. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That really helps me and then the algorithm, so it'll recommend more videos to you. Also, please comment looks that you would love to see, because I would love to be able to do the looks that you want to see. And thank you so much for your love, support, and everything that you do on this channel. And I hope I get to see you again, maybe sooner than last time. Bye!